Welcome to 1M3Y, a personal development podcast where I share about how to achieve your goals and speak to successful entrepreneurs and other key opinion leaders. My name is Joe.
And I'm Kerwin.
Alright, welcome back to another episode. This is episode 10 already, and we have a special guest today. Jimmy. Jimmy is the co-founder of Singaporean Activewear brand KYDRA. They started KYDRA. So Jimmy and co-founder started KYDRA in 2017, straight out of college. And over the past 7 years, they have built KYDRA into a $1 million business. KYDRA differentiates itself in a crowded market by focusing on products that cater to the Asian and Singaporean fit, suitable for tropical weather and functional versatility. All right, Jimmy, is there anything else you want to add to your introduction?
I think you did a great job, Joe.
All right. Maybe you can share a bit more about the story of why you started KYDRA.
Sure. KYDRA first started as a school project, something that me and my partner did just to solve our everyday problem of, with our first product being a pair of shorts, 2-in-1 shorts, solve our everyday problem of having a pair of shorts that we could wear to both the gym, to class, to go out, and which help basically all our necessary items like our phones, our union, student card key, and all that stuff. So, that's why we started the brand at first.
Back then, was it because I think I watched the recent podcast episode you did with CNA. You mentioned back then I think it was iPhone 6. Slowly phones were getting
iPhone 5 Max.
iPhone 5? Okay. So
iPhone 5 Max. The Max one.
Max. Okay, the Max. So the phones were getting bigger back then, but pockets were still relatively small. Was there an issue that
apparel wasn't moving along with technology? And that was the biggest thing for us, right? Because it's such a the phone became so big, so heavy. You can't really run with it unless you have one of those armbands you put over here. And these also are an issue as well. If you tie it down with your arm straight, as you flex your arm when you're running, it gets too tight and it's very uncomfortable. And vice versa, if you were to flex your arm first and then put the band, if you put your arms down while running, it just slips off. Yes. So it was crazy difficult. So we thought that was an inconvenience, and so that's why we created our own product.
Okay, good. I'm so curious. So you mentioned that you started at college with your friend. So how do you know that your friend or the co-founder right now was the right person to start this business with?
To be honest, we didn't know. It really was like a leap of faith. In fact, the whole business thing kind of came alive on its own. It wasn't we're gonna do a business, we're gonna be successful, we're gonna do da. It was let's try this, and then we do make the shorts, and okay, now we got the shorts, let's do for the competition. Okay, do the. And we kind of did a school project kind of style, and over time, we kind of learned how each other worked, how each other kind of lived, and then and our own principles, and it slowly merged and kind of worked out for us. Yeah, I guess we were lucky, to be honest. Not many people can do that.
Yeah, it's actually very, I'll say very different, because usually when people start a company with friends or co-founders, there's a lot of challenges or a lot of, So
we're also very lucky.
We're really
lucky because we all want to do different parts of the business.
Okay.
So that was a big thing also.
Maybe you can run through how do all of your skill sets complement, what do you handle in different parts?
Right. So we have 2 other partners right now. So I have a guy called Matthew and another one called Ding Yao. So Matt is he has a very good creative eye. So he's very good. He's a photographer, videographer. He loves all these kind of narrations and branding and stuff like that. So he took on that role, right? He made us look good. That was what he was meant to do. Then we have Ding, who is very operational minded and also very finance minded. Also, he's like the brainchild of our processes, and how we manage money, etc. And also he likes to do a bit of designing as well. So we also touch base on all of that. Whereas my strengths, a bit more PR, a bit more salesy, I guess. So I'm always the front facing part of the business, and they don't want to be front facing as well. So that's why if you find like in articles or any kind of podcast as you may mention, it's just me usually. Hardly you'll see the two of them just because they don't want to do it.
That's
Yeah.
nice
So
because
we just kind of
it means that I actually reached out to the right person because I was just looking at LinkedIn and I just found you. It's like,
yeah.
wow, KYDRA. Actually, heard of the brand when I was in junior college. So it wasn't
nice.
brand new. So I just like, okay, actually, I think it's about the right time to just get you on board. Maybe moving back a bit, like you started KYDRA with your co-founders right out of college. I'm sure there's gonna be some opposition from your family. There's gonna be challenges in terms of convincing them. What made you or convince yourself and your family that committing full time in KYDRA was the right decision? Yeah.
We actually had, because of the school project we had an Indiegogo campaign, right? And so we had some kind of customers, some customer profile at the beginning. And obviously when we came back to Singapore, we had some stock left over. So we tried to just, sell it out, right? And the feedback we were getting about our products was good. So we thought about it for a bit, and we told our parents to maybe give us like 2 years to try lah, right? Because I mean, what's the worst that can happen? Worst is we fail this business. That's number one. But in the end, our CV just looks nicer a bit, right? Because a bit of entrepreneurship kind of style, right? We tried something a bit different. We weren't taking a break. We were literally taking no pay and trying to do something that we wanted to do, right? So technically speaking, it was like a win-win situation for us. I mean, that being said, we did all go and find jobs. We did go and like apply for jobs. We did get offers as well. And those just added proof to our parents to say that actually we are employable. But yeah, give us 2 years to try this and then see how it goes. And it's been 7 years, so still here.
Wow. So I'm just wondering, so what one of the biggest challenges you've faced so far in these 7 years?
Biggest challenges. The biggest, I think, learning curve for every step of the business is always been a big challenge for us. I mean, they always say that you have to constantly learn. I mean, it's an ever learning journey when you're on entrepreneurship, and it's true, but it's very difficult when we have to learn things outside of our skill set, and we gotta learn it and implement it immediately. You don't have like the luxury of going to school and like, oh, this is how you do marketing plan, for example. This is how you do a design, this is how you fix certain things, how you build a website. So all these small things, or how do you buy ads in the right way? How do you learn? Right. So these kind of stuff we literally just learn now, I apply now. And then it doesn't work, we gotta find out how. And you are burning cash along the way while we're trying to do it. So it's like a non-stop challenge all the way. So it's not like one singular big challenge. It was just the whole thing is a challenge.
All right. I'm sure you have learned a lot along the way, try to figure things out all this while. Maybe talk about like the challenging times. I think before we started this podcast, you were telling us there were some difficult decisions you have to make. What continues to motivate you in this challenging situation to push forward to make KYDRA go to greater heights?
So last year, we had to close our store. Rental was too high for us. We had we had to let go of some stuff due to monetary concerns. For us as entrepreneurs, as employers, as even as friends or so to some of these people, it's extremely difficult mentally on us because you have to, emotionally also is very difficult also because we put a lot of time and effort and invested in it, right? In the business, in the people. So ultimately, at the end of the day, as an entrepreneur, the business is all you have, right? You can't do anything else apart from that. It's just yours, it's yours. So the only way you can truly motivate yourself is to say that, okay, I need to get out of this alive, number one, and I need to make sure I don't make similar mistakes, and I have to make sure that the business becomes stronger and bigger, so that I don't have to go through something similar like ever again. So so that's how we kind of find innate motivation to do stuff. Yeah.
Nicely said. That was sharing actually. I think that was it was something to think about actually. On like anyone's motivation to continue doing whatever they are doing. I'm just I'm just very curious. I went around your website. I went to click around because you mentioned that you and your co-founder started this figure of there's no functional shorts. Then I'll click on the men's section. I tried to click on shorts. So are you all not selling the shorts?
So the reason why it's not there at the moment because it's sold out.
Oh wow, that's a good problem to have.
So it's a good problem. It is a good problem. Not gonna lie, but it will be back. In the next month or so, we'll be back already.
Okay, then along the lines on that, what are your future plans for KYDRA then? Are y'all releasing new products or are y'all focusing on different campaigns?
Yeah, we are definitely gonna be releasing new products. In fact, there's gonna be one soft launch next week. So and we'll continue to produce and design new stuff. So probably normally every 3 months, 3 to 4 months, we will have a launch.
Good.
Yeah.
Is there something you can share with us, like insider news?
Not much insider news in the sense like it's just we will be basically okay. So all our items all the products that we are producing moving forward usually are items that we ourselves find that either is lacking in the market in some point or we really just love, right, and we want to make something for ourselves also.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what the basis of our collections or our products are based around essentially.
Okay.
Maybe so you should expect that every 3 months.
Right. So maybe like can you go through like so for a launch like for Activewear like KYDRA, do you like typically do like an Instagram post or is it more of like you have a campaign with like an event and you invite people to an event ground to launch a product with like influencers? Is this the typical strategy for you here?
I don't really do events. I think that our market is currently loyal enough to the point whereby we don't really need to have a full-fledged launch event. But also because we don't really produce a super high quantity, right? So we don't want it to be like I launch an event and then everybody come down and they buy it and then that's it. I want it to be. I want people to slowly find out about us as well through word of mouth, through our blogs, for example, our Instagram posts, etc., and then discover us along the way and then buy something. Yeah, and the last thing we want is just people come for event and it's either you're there or not there, and then that's it already.
Yeah,
I think it's be a learning thing.
That's heartening to hear. You have a very organic customer base here. With them being very loyal to you, and I guess you have great so-called return customers. Given that you don't really need like big launch event to just launch new products, so that's good. And having said that, you mentioned previously that KYDRA has been bootstrapped all the way to this space. And moving forward, what is the end goal for KYDRA? Do you have a plan for it to be perhaps acquired by a bigger brand or basically bigger brand, or maybe go to IPO? I don't know.
Right. I guess for us, we're just trying to see. I mean, we are currently still enjoying what we do. It's a very nice platform for us to create stuff that we want to make as well. So it's not really like we are gonna make this to sell, or we're gonna make this to to IPO, etc. It's literally just a company for us to really explore what we really want to do. Essentially, for people who also appreciate what we like. Right. Yeah, it's nice just fun for us still. Yeah, it's still fun for us.
Wow. That's actually quite rare. I think for entrepreneurs to say that they have been really enjoying this. I think a lot of entrepreneurs really struggle in the first few years.
No, the struggle is for real. You'll be definitely struggle, right? But the point is that we started the business. It was a school project. It was fun for us, and we are just moving along this same thing. We're not trying to do it's not a quick cash grab lah.
Oh, yeah.
It's still fun for you to this very day. I think that's amazing. For 7 years to keep on going and to create the fun, I think that's a very good track to have, I say.
Yeah, so maybe we move back to 2017, right? After going through these 7 years, what will you have like done differently as compared to all this while? Yeah.
Well, that honestly, I would have gone and found more mentors. I think the difficulty for us is that we didn't really have a real mentor to guide us on this journey as well. Like, but to be fair, also e-commerce was literally nowhere when we started. Yeah, so there weren't really many people that could teach us, how we should run our website, how should we market it on social media. Influencers back then also was a very like new thing as well. Having like coming to 10K followers was really like a crazy thing already. And now we have people like a few 100,000, right? So it's a big change as to what today's day is about. But like a mentor, someone who teach us more about management, I guess would be great.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
like how to run this.
Yeah. So do you think that now it's easier to find mentors for e-commerce, or are you onboarding like a mentor now, or as in?
No lah. Now we're not finding it. Now we have kind of found a bit of a groove. I mean, we are still constantly learning still, but it's not like we're not looking for, or we don't really look for like a singular person or to tell us how to do stuff anymore as much. We are very happy to have people guide us on like obviously expansion methods, things that we don't know about, like how to expand overseas, etc. Who can guide us and or introduce us to the right people, for example, right? So that's something that we'll be very happy to explore. But when it comes to like e-commerce stuff also, I mean, we aren't perfect, but also we kind of, I guess, enjoy also the way of learning how to navigate through it. Like, it is more fun when you have had an open world to explore as compared to like a guidebook. Like, you must like go A to B to C to D. Yeah, it's a bit boring sometimes.
Yeah. It sounds like you can be a mentor yourself to other people who want to start their own e-commerce business. So I mean, on that note, do you have like any tips for people who actually want, or our listeners who want to build their own company or even fashion brand online? Do you have any tips for them or words of encouragement actually?
Yeah, I mean, the main tip honestly would be you need to have tenacity, I guess, when you have a business. Because the business wouldn't make much money from the get-go. Neither would it make a lot of money in the first year or so. Especially if you are already in a mature market, and you're not the first mover. It might take a long while for you to get to see anything. And if you're in a business whereby similar to mine, where you have to hold inventory, you are gonna be in a business where you spend money to make money. Right, so you're not going to see the money physically in your own pocket. Basically, you're just gonna constantly reinvest, because to make more money, you gotta put in more money. So you gotta keep reinvesting. So it's actually a very long journey before you can actually make any money. So if you want to be successful, you gotta be a bit more tenacious.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to summarize or end off this podcast. Basically, those people are looking to start their own business. Be ready for a bumpy road in.
It's a fun road. It's a fun road for sure. Full of possibilities. Somehow you end up in a podcast like this, Right?
And first few years you wouldn't have any money to eat.
I have money to eat. No money. Really no money to eat.
Yeah.
We were happy with like $1,000 a month. It was nuts, right?
Wow. But I mean, now I think it's even harder with inflation and the higher GST in Singapore. So I think you need a bit more than 1,000. But
yes.
No, so thank you so much, Jimmy. Thanks for accepting this podcast. We learned a lot from you, and we hope that our listeners also took away as much as us. So our podcast will be actually uploaded to Spotify and YouTube. Thank you everyone for listening to this podcast and goodbye.